Alright guys, so we are almost at the next 100 milestone, almost at 9,400, creeping up on 10,000 subscribers, the big milestone we were trying to reach. So if you guys are new, I'd really appreciate the subscribe. Alright guys, so we are back with some more Fallout 76 information. This time it's another Pete Hines interview. He did an interview with Metro, and oddly enough, they say it's from Gamescom, which was like a month ago, I think, but they just recently dropped this this interview, this article on their website. So I don't know why companies do that. Like, if you're gonna do like an interview at like E3 or Gamescom or QuakeCon, like, why would you not drop it sometime around when that event is happening so that it gets a little more traction? Maybe dropping it this late is a little bit better. Maybe they get more traction this way so they're not competing with other interviews and articles. I don't know exactly, but either way, it's a kind of an older interview, but again, it just recently dropped on their website. As I always try to mention with these kind of like interview breakdowns, we're really only here for the Fallout 76 information. That's the only game I'm really covering on the channel right now. But there are some other takeaways that people might find important. For starters, Pete Hines confirms that there is going to be a Wolfenstein 3 and another Dishonored, which I don't think that that was never going to happen. Like, Wolfenstein's very, very popular, so they're obviously going to keep continuing it. And Dishonored, I think there was like some rumors or discussion of it being put on the shelf for a little bit, but nobody ever said that it was going to go away forever. So again, this is information, this is news, but not really anything we didn't know, because of course they're going to continue both those series. And for those that care, they do still plan on supporting the game Prey with more DLC and add-ons or whatever is going to happen with it. I played the demo for this. They dropped the demo, was it last year, year before? Whenever the demo happened for Prey. I played it, I live streamed it. It was fun, but it wasn't enough to draw me into want to buy the game. But it was still pretty enjoyable. But that game absolutely like disappeared after its release, because I didn't hear about anything Prey up until like E3 of this year, or a little bit before E3 when they started teasing like the add-on or DLC for it. And the last bit of interesting non-Fallout 76 information from this interview is that near the end of it, they're kind of discussing the Bethesda and Nintendo relationship, and the guy simply asks, have y'all talked to them about Smash Bros? And Pete Hines replies with, oh yeah. So, kind of hinting at a Bethesda character showing up in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, for me personally, if I had to hesitate a guess, it would be potentially one of 4 options, which would either be Sebastian from Evil Within, the Doomslayer from Doom, Corvo, or potentially Emily, I guess, from Dishonored, or BJ from Wolfenstein. Because these are established characters, like, you could do a Vault Dweller from Fallout 4, but I mean, what is that, right? It's just not, it's not an actual character. And you could do, like, the Dragonborn or something from Skyrim, or something else from Elder Scrolls. But again, not established characters. Your main character that you play as is your own creation. So with those 4 series, which are decently popular, they have an established lead character. So I think it could be one of them. But if you have a different suggestion or guess as to what Bethesda character you think would potentially be in the new Smash Bros. Game, leave it in the comments below. So we kind of already hear some stuff we've already heard about Fallout 76. They talk about microtransactions and loot boxes, and Pete Hines confirms, of course, that there's not going to be any loot boxes in Fallout 76. It'll just be a shop that you can go to and buy cosmetic items if you want to buy them, or you can obviously earn them and get them in-game if you choose to do it that way instead. So the interviewer asks, I assume Fallout 76 is the most games-as-a-service-y of the two, referencing Rage 2. So how long do you envisage that lasting? And Pete Hines replies with, forever. He goes on to say that he's not being ironic about it. People have asked him what's the plan for the game, 2 or 5 years, and he points out that, you know, people are still playing all of their games years later. It's been 16 years since Morrowind came out. People are still playing and modding that game today, so their games have, you know, kind of a longevity over a lot of other games. People are still obviously playing and modding Skyrim, same thing with Fallout 4, probably 3 New Vegas as well, but he doesn't bring them up. He also points out that the Broken Steel add-on, I believe it was, for Fallout 3 was completely because of fan demand. People wanted to continue exploring the world of Fallout 3, because the original ending, if you don't have the DLC or never played it without the DLC, like, once you beat the story of Fallout 3, like, the game is freaking over, and you can only load from, like, your last save. And inevitably, because the fans wanted it enough, they added in an add-on that actually extended the game to where you could do some stuff after the story, and also continue exploring the Capital Wasteland. And this is why I try to defend Bethesda at times, because they do listen to their community. A lot of people seem to think that they don't, and this goes back again all the way till Fallout 3, which was 10 years ago. Like, they were listening to the fans, added in, you know, some after-story stuff to do and explore the wasteland, and it even goes up to something as recent as Fallout 4. You know, Far Harbor was drastically different in tone and what you could do than, say, like, the base game was. You had a lot more choices, the quests were a lot better and more in-depth, I thought. And Nuka World lets you actually be evil, even though you couldn't really still be evil in Fallout 4. Like, you got to be a part of the Raider gang, come over to the actual, like, map of the Commonwealth and take over settlements for your Raider gang. So you could be evil in a sense. It wasn't exactly what we wanted, but it's still something that the fans were looking for. So the point of all this is they plan on supporting Fallout 76 potentially forever, as long as there is a community for it, and regardless of what a lot of people seem to think about the game, it is still going to do pretty well. I don't know if it's going to sell as good as Fallout 4. I don't think it will, just because there's a lot of people who aren't interested. And a lot of us got burned by Fallout 4. It wasn't exactly the Fallout experience we were expecting. So you're going to have less sales because of that. And the fact that this is a multiplayer Fallout game, online-only Fallout game, it's going to have less sales as well. So I don't know that upon release, it's going to do as good as Fallout 4. But the thing is, there are still a lot of people interested in this game, and it will almost assuredly always have a community as long as they keep supporting it in the right ways. And the thing is, they do have to support this game quickly. Like, they gotta have, like, some weekly updates, monthly updates, and of course the big DLCs every couple of months. Like, they're going to have to keep adding stuff to the game to keep it interesting. For starters, a lot of people, when big games come out, a lot of people take off work for like a couple of days or a week at a time, maybe 2 weeks, whatever, so they can binge whatever the new game is. And that's going to happen with this game. And you're going to have other people who are just going to no-sleep the game, just play it just crazily so they can, you know, finish the story, finish the quest lines, level up as fast as possible, get as strong as possible, and they're going to burn through all the content this game has to offer very, very quickly, and people are going to start to get bored if there's nothing to do. So they have to support this game pretty rapidly, and that goes for any multiplayer game. You got to keep it interesting. And this is one of the things that has me most excited about Fallout 76. When you look back at the other BGS Fallout games, Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4, they've all received their last piece of DLC, their official add-on for the game, within the first year of their release. And this is a Fallout game that's going to be continuously supported with more add-ons and content for years to come, or potentially forever, like Pete Hines said, which is something I'm very much looking forward to, because who doesn't, if you're into a game, you're enjoying a game, of course you want more and more content, and this is a Fallout game where we're going to get that, potentially, again, forever. He also goes on to mention that they have ideas for the game, but they want people to actually get in and play it and decide what they want more of, and I think the main thing, and a lot of people already know what I'm going to say, is NPCs. That seems to be just about the biggest complaint, like right behind PvP, is the game lacking pretty much any NPCs. We know for sure robots, of course, but we don't know if there's going to be anything else, any substantial NPCs that have anything interesting to say or offer any interesting quests. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but again, they do listen to the fans with game-changing updates and stuff like that, so you never know. So if you're interested in Fallout 76, this is obviously great news. For me, it's great too, because this means that I have content for, you know, forever, potentially, years to come, because they're going to support it for a very, very long time. And as I also previously mentioned, the mainline Fallout games usually die after about a year unless you can figure out some other kind of content to do, or you switch over to mod content. There's nothing to talk about. There's no news or updates for the game because the game's done. And with this game, I will have content forever, which is kind of nice to know. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts below as usual. What do you think about Bethesda supporting Fallout 76 until the end of time? And as always, if you guys want to enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter at TheDashingDavid, add my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Give me forever for a while, quit acting like a baby, or at least